All right, guys. So, a lot of you have been doing taxes, right? For a while, you have been trying to really understand how you can help your clients pay the least amount of taxes legally. Okay. And so, in today's video, I want to actually walk through what you need to know when you are looking to provide tax planning services to both your business clients as well as your individual clients. But first, welcome. If you are new to me, my name is Krista Tyus. I teach tax and accounting professionals how to get more clients utilizing social media and scale their virtual firm to multiple six figures. So if you're new to me, come on over, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. I come out with weekly content and yeah, if you like it, then share it. Share it with all your friends and colleagues in the industry. So, there are a few key factors that you need to know about tax planning. Okay. Tax planning is the process of looking at how a business is structured, looking at their tax credits as well as their deductions to really formulate the best possible outcome tax wise. So, you are really looking to see how you can legally save your client tens of thousands of dollars. So, combining all of these three strategies together with structuring, credits, deductions, you will have built a cohesive tax strategy, both looking in the past and in the future. You want to make sure that you are really maximizing your client's tax strategy and helping them pay the least amount of taxes legally. Okay. So I'm going to bring in one of our lead instructors at certifiable.com, Ernie, and he's going to give you a tax plan overview. And if you're interested in actually getting the entire training, remember, stay to the end of the video and we're going to show you how you can actually get this training plus get IRS credit for it. All right, take it over, Ernie.
So hello, everybody, and welcome to our Business Tax Planning Bootcamp. We're going to be doing an overall dive into the importance of tax planning for your business or the importance of helping somebody else do their tax planning in order to help their business get going and grow. So these are, generally speaking, the five, six, depends on who you listen to, functional areas of business. And all of these tend to take up a fair amount of room in any good developed business plan. What don't you see here, though? All right, one of the things you don't see here is taxes and taxation. Now, taxation would normally be housed here under finance, but what we're going to see is that good tax planning really takes into account all the other parts of the business plan. Okay, whether we're talking about deductions, credits, any number of things, because they really do play a big role. For example, we don't think of taxes having to do with HR, but they really, really do when it comes to the point of, all right, you have a business. How do you help keep your employees there? One of the things you can do is establish some sort of qualified retirement plan. The good news about that is that becomes a write-off for the business. Okay, so we'll talk about retirement planning as one key facet of tax planning. But what we'll find is that taxation decisions, really decisions for all of these things around the spoke, play a role in how a company pays taxes, how much taxes a company will pay, and ways in which a company can save on the taxes they end up paying in any given year. All right, we'll take a look at a few well-known examples of companies that made billions of dollars in a particular tax year and paid nothing in terms of their taxes that year. Why? Because of careful tax planning that was done way in advance to take into account good years. All right, what we want to do is pay less taxes in our good years and use the bad years to mitigate good years later on. Again, we'll get into that over the course of the next few sessions together. So what is tax planning anyway? Tax planning is, again, taking into account those other facets of business and looking at them from a taxable standpoint. All right, because businesses spend tons of money. I can tell you because I've helped spend some of that money on planning some of these other functional areas of business, which is great and needed depending on the size of the business and what their goals are. But if you don't take into account some of the taxable consequences of some of these decisions, it can come back to bite the business. All right, so good advanced planning from a taxable standpoint, from a tactical taxable standpoint, say that 3 times fast, can be very helpful. Okay, because it can really help maximize the cash flow for the business when it might actually need it during leaner years. Tax planning can involve, like I said, lots of different aspects, and we'll get into a lot of these over the course of the next few sessions. What business form should you take? Should the business take? Obviously, the easiest form would be a sole proprietorship, but that may not be the best from a taxable standpoint. All right. There are lots of other business forms that can be more advantageous. Again, any business form has its pluses and minuses in terms of what they entail. All right. How to defer revenue and income. All right. An organization, a business may not want to take all of its revenue and income this year. It can mean less of a tax burden next year. All right. One of the basic rules of tax planning is, if possible, we'd like to defer income because that also means we defer taxes. Okay, how to maximize not only losses but expenses. All right, not every expense is equal in the eyes of the IRS. All right, we're going to talk about business, as we'll see, we're going to talk about business expenses from a couple of different standpoints. Some are deductions, some are credits. We'll see that credits, generally speaking, are better than deductions because they will save us more money. Again, we don't let the tax tail lead the dog. All right. Taxes are part of the methodology, part of the planning process, but we can't ignore them either. We can't ignore the tax implications of doing X if Y might save us some money from a tax standpoint and serve us equally well. All right. What business deductions make sense? Obviously, this is not going to be a session in tax avoidance outside the law for obvious reasons. All right. There are tax deductions, tax credits that are legally capable for companies to take. There are other things that we don't want to get into in terms of cooking the books. That is going to get you into trouble eventually. Okay. If not now, at some point, the IRS is pretty diligent about following up on these kinds of things. And then again, I've already mentioned briefly how retirement plans set up by a business can help not only retain valuable employees, but can help save the business in terms of taxable income, because those contributions made by the business are a write-off. So we're going to lay out the general structure of a tax plan and the three basic pillars starting in the next session and moving forward. We'll talk about how losses can play a key role later on. So early losses are not the worst thing in the world. Obviously, no company ever wants to lose money. Okay, but most companies, when they start out, have a burn rate. That burn rate, that loss, those initial losses of getting the company set up, establishing the company, starting the marketing, starting the manufacturing, all those other things can be useful down the line. All right, I've already hinted at the fact that tax credits are better than tax deductions. We will talk about both in different sessions going forward and describe some of the ones that are the most commonly taken. Again, we're not going to describe every possible tax credit, every possible tax deduction, because there are so many businesses and so many different industries. So we'll talk about the big ones, and then you want to narrow down in the specific industry that business might happen to be in. For example, there are tax deductions and tax credits for use of green energy, for use of wind or solar or other sorts of energy. Again, those change over time. One would suspect that those would become more pronounced as we talk about more and more about climate change and encouraging business to be greener and have a less of a footprint on the climate. But that's a guess. We can only think about that for the future. That is probably going to happen. Well, can companies do things now to take advantage of that? Absolutely. So again, this is just the beginning of our time together. We'll move on to the next session and really get into the three pillars of business tax planning in earnest and set up the rest of our sessions together. If you have any questions, please drop them below in the comment section and we'll be happy to get back to you on them. So we'll move on to the next session pretty soon. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Ernie, for that wonderful business tax plan overview. As stated before, guys, business tax planning is a great strategy to add to your virtual firm. You can really charge top dollar to help businesses go through the structuring process for them. You know, the best strategies to structure their business, as well as any deferral of income or expenses, going over the best tax credits for their business. As Ernie was stating, that there are very specific credits for very specific industries. So you want to know those industry specific tax credits. And then finally, really understanding the best deductions. Again, there are very specific industry deductions available, but you want to understand what are the deductions that can actually help your business tax client pay the least amount of taxes. So what I want to do for you really quick, I want to actually share my screen to show you where you can get this entire course by Ernie called the Business Tax Plan Mastery Course. So in this course, you learn how to leverage the tax code to help your clients pay the least amount of taxes, sometimes zero, with legal and effective tax law strategies. Feel confident knowing how to save your clients tens of thousands of dollars. Now, this is for you if you are a professional. So if you are a tax professional, a bookkeeper, an accountant, a CPA, an enroll agent, and you really want to incorporate providing business tax plans at a high level into your virtual firm. This is also for the everyday business owner. So if you own your own business, this course is actually great for you as well to give you a greater understanding on what are the best strategies that you should be looking at as a business owner. Okay. So this course is on sale right now. It's $97. And after you sign up and make a purchase, I want to show you what it looks like on the inside. So this is exactly how it looks on the inside. You have your welcome video. The overview video is what we just watched, the presentation with Ernie just now. He's going to go over why a tax plan, the tax life cycle of a business structures, right? Tax pros and cons. He's going to talk about sole proprietorship versus corporations, retirement tax plans as a strategy, putting family to work, deductions, tax credits, tax consequences of life events. And it's even more after that. So we got to scroll to the next page. He's going to help you do a tax plan consultation, have a tax plan success checklist, a business tax plan spreadsheet, and then rounding out with some resources for tax planning. Okay. So this is the entire course for the Business Tax Plan Mastery Bootcamp. This course does qualify for IRS CPE credit. Okay, so if you are a tax professional and you want some credit, you can go ahead and pass this final assessment, send certifiable your past assessment as well as your PTIN, and they'll send your results directly to the Internal Revenue Service so you can get credit for taking this course. So if you have any questions, guys, go ahead and drop them below. But if you enjoyed how Ernie presents his information, then you are definitely going to enjoy this entire tax course, this business tax planning course. Anyway, guys, if you love this video, go ahead and share it out to your friends, to your community, as well as hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when I come out with future content. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.